What do you think about when I say the word politics? Do you immediately get defensive knowing you're about to know which tribe you're dealing with? Are you about to high-five each other or step into a cage match? Maybe it's the word politics that's the problem. When we hear it, we think parties, power games, and cable news shouting matches. But biblically speaking, politics is something much simpler. It's the moral evaluation of leadership, power, and authority. And the Bible never treats those as neutral. So what if we used a different word? How about we use leadership? And Scripture has a lot to say about leaders. Of many leaders in the Old Testament, he did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. And then in 1 Samuel, they rejected me from being king over them. And Jeremiah said, "Woe to the shepherds who destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture." Let me ask a harder question. Would you have supported a leader who committed adultery, arranged for murder, played favorites? That was King David of the Old Testament. Look him up. And yet, Scripture still calls him a man after God's own heart. So if God's prophets of old had strong opinions about leaders, shouldn't we? In fact, Jesus himself publicly calls out King Herod. He said, "Go and tell that fox, behold, I cast out demons." Do you think maybe some in Jesus' audience were offended because they actually liked Herod's leadership? Jesus was okay with that disagreement. And then John the Baptist, he simply had an opinion about the king, and it cost him his head. All he said was, "It's not lawful for you to have her." It makes you wonder if maybe Christians hide their opinions about leadership because they feel the cost is too high. And that reminds me, the disciples weren't quiet about it either. They said we must follow God rather than man. And maybe you avoid politics because it feels dirty, like you need a shower because it involves shady deals and lies and compromise. But guess what? Family relationships are messy. Church relationships are messy. Business is messy too. Makes you wonder if we're too timid to speak clearly about leadership, even in private conversations. Might be worth reflecting on how that timidity shows up in our gospel witness as well. Are we open and vocal about our faith? Listen, when Jesus comes again to rule, then we'll truly have global peace. The true, good, and right New World Order, not the corrupt counterfeit set up by men today. Jesus shall judge between nations and shall decide disputes for many peoples, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares. How about that? Until then, none of our leaders are perfect. You know, we're grading on a curve, and I'll always side with the bold, the clear, the ones who project integrity and protect our right to share the gospel openly. Jesus saves the repentant, and that's what makes today already a great day. You know what else can be messy? Our gym routine. Get what you can when you can. Crank the music and let's play.